This is the Freak Show. Welcome. We have some guests. The special guests are coming. A special guest, also known as Chad Ventures. He's not a guest really. He's the co-host of this fine stream. Hey Justin. I don't have my glasses on right now. But yeah, we decided to just do this nothing special. Just boom boom. Boom boom. Anyway, today's nutritional attempt. We got salmon, some romaine, and sweet potato. That is what's happening over here. You know what? I think I take this in and out. So what's up, Justin, man? What's going on? Thanks for joining me for dinner here. Yeah, I almost didn't make it. Trying to do a live stream or eat dinner. I can do both. Ooh, I'm mad at this. Love the sweet potato. Yeah, that salmon cooked up really quick. Oh dang! You made halpia. Oh gosh. Yeah. So normally I don't eat while I'm streaming. Bound, bound and determined to get it all done. Hey Izzy, how you doing? Izzy, where you from? Um, really? While I eat America. Well, what part of America are you in? That's enough of you, Val guy. Oh yes. Chad Ventures turned me on to this. I've tasted it before, of course, but I didn't know you could actually buy it. Mm. And ran out, but put that on the fish. It's good. Mm. Justin, you know how to cook? You a good cook? Uh, Furikake. Fu- Furikake. Furikake. Yeah, it's just up there in the ethnic food section. good. It's no expensive though. And then I have to buy 2 things of it because running out of it sucks. Izzy, what's your favorite food? I guess you could call this salad a salmon salad. That's all it is, salmon, balsamic, and romaine. That's it. And this stuff, of course. This is the stuff that you see on top of sushi. And it doesn't have like MSG or anything in there like that. I hate when I like something and find out that's got MSG in it. That sucks. I used to work at a restaurant in Hawaii, and it was rated one of the top restaurants in Hawaii. Um, but really, they just had cheap drinks and would sell you expensive food that was loaded with MSG. People just loved it. It's horrible. Mhm. So today, the reason I'm eating right now is because at 2:30, I started trying to um, get OB, you know, the OB something, OB, uh, the streaming software, OB something. Yeah, I can't think straight right now. OBS. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, I like sweet potato, and I don't like lung cancer. So, dang, that's a match made in heaven. Yeah, I was working from 2:30 this afternoon right up until about 4:30, trying to get OBS to work. It did actually work. It's really YouTube. YouTube does not want to allow you to do anything without paying more. So the thing that I want to do is I want to do split screen. I want to do split screen, and I want to do picture in picture with independent audio. So yeah, they took that feature away long ago and put it behind a paywall. Soon they're going to get things like volume buttons and put it behind a paywall. Oh, you want to control the volume? Wow. Unreal. Mm. Justin, I considered what you said quite some time ago, about a few months back. Um,
I didn't get the brand because it's expensive, so I got this. I got pure pea protein, so I went with vegetarian protein powder instead of the meat based or uh, milk based. When I looked at the ingredients on the milk based one, yeah, over a long period of time, that's not so good. Long term use. So for plant protein is way better suited for long term use. If you look at the ingredients. This one tastes okay. It's unflavored. Uh, in order to get the amount of protein that I'm supposed to have, I have to eat 4 times a day. I'm used to eating once a day. And I have to make sure that 50 or 70 grams, I think something like 50 to 70 grams of protein for each meal. I have to eat that much protein. Man, so I don't know. I don't know if I can keep up with this bodybuilding stuff for long. I want to go broke. I want to go broke just trying to afford to eat. Uh, where there's a will, there's a way. Hmm. Tell you what, though, I'm a damn good cook. I've eaten enough bad. I've eaten enough bad food to never want to eat bad food again. So, staying away from processed foods, even red meat. I didn't think I'd ever get rid of red meat and milk. I'm doing a pretty good job of replacing milk with like oat milk and stuff. And I'm not having too big of a problem with the meat. Meat's not a big thing for me to stop. But stopping milk, that's a challenge, especially for cereal and coffee. But I've been using oat milk. I'm warming up to it. Mm. Well, I do believe that our co-host Chad isn't going to make it today. Gas station chicken sucks. And I just bought a big old package of chicken breast, put them in the freezer. But I'm going to be eating at least one of those a day. Uh, some may think they've gotten involved in the bodybuilding and all that stuff out of vanity. Or usually that's the thought, right? When you see people get involved in bodybuilding, I think that usually it's a more of a vain act kind of a thing. But as you get older, you're really just trying to stave off the aging process, to put it nicely. So, if I heard that getting fat was good for you as you get older, I'd be getting fat. You said don't exercise, I wouldn't exercise. Oh, it would be hard. But yeah, you got to eat clean. I agree, Justin. The biggest issue is it was easy for me most of the time because with one meal, you would just make that one meal really good. But with the amount of calories, at least 2,000, maybe 3,000, and the amount of protein that you have to ingest, 170 grams, it's a lot. It's a lot for the digestion. So we'll see. We'll see. We know how to eat. It's not a question of how to eat, right? Boiled chicken and boiled vegetables. That's about the things. But the trick is yeah, making that food edible, edible, switching it up. Can you imagine 4 times a day? All right, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Chad Ventures is now in the house. How's it going, man?
Yo,
Caught me just in time, man.
I did.
I'm finishing off my sweet potato wrap.
Nice. I was cleaning myself up while you invited me the past 15 minutes. Had to cut my hair. Had to be done.
You had to cut your hair before you did the stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, damn it!
Ugh.
My,
Yeah, what's happening, man? Hello?
let's see what's going on with my
Check 1,
phone
2.
here.
Check. Chickens. Justin! What's up, Justin?
There we go.
It says I'm connected.
My headphones. Let's see.
Check. Check 1, 2.
There we go. Now it's happening.
Chickens!
So, yeah.
Yeah, hey, man, well, I got some good news. I suppose it's good news. I finished up my last pair of 2 courses, and I just have one more course to go.
Sweet.
Yeah, just 2 more months, one more course.
Oh, that sounds push.
Yeah, and then I'll have a lot more time on my hands.
Nice.
I won't have to write papers for.
Well, hearing you say that reminds me of when I try to budget something and I go, "Yeah, I got plenty of money."
You know,
Oh
I
yeah, I'm
hope,
gonna have a lot of time coming up. Yeah, right.
yeah,
Uh,
hopefully. Yeah,
uh,
hopefully.
I'll tell you what, you better schedule that a lot of time.
Yeah, real since I only have one course in this final stretch, I decided I would throw a weekend day into Busk up in Crescent Butte at the ice cream shop again, 1 or 2 days depending on my workload that week.
Mm,
I graduate and then I'll be able to do it all the time. And then, yeah, man, thinking about maybe teaching some classes out here, to get that going for us again. Um, in the summertime, it's nice, and in the fall, because I can just go to the park.
yeah.
I don't have to locate a space or anything. Uh, yeah, yeah. But other than that, that's the good news, man. And the other good news is that I think I'm gonna buy a ticket to Iceland for a vacation in January.
You're gonna buy what?
A ticket to go to Iceland for a vacation in January.
Well, damn.
I got my tax
That's
return and I didn't spend it on anything yet, and I'm thinking I should spend it going to Iceland. uh,
what's the season for Iceland?
it would be deep winter in January, like
January.
4 to 6 hours of sunlight a day,
Mm,
that type of status. And yeah, that's actually the time I want to go because I want to just be in the darkness of the aurora borealis for a week and a half or something, or 2 weeks, and just road trip around. In the wintertime, it might be rough, so I'm thinking I'll rent out a camper vehicle and just go to the available campsites around and do that route.
oh
Well,
man.
yeah, I haven't bought the ticket yet, but I just like uh, organize or researched how much it would cost, and it would cost about like $1,500 for like a round trip and plus a vehicle for camper vanning.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
Well, that sounds that sounds like an adventure, that's for sure.
I know. Yeah, I want to go look at all the active volcanoes and maybe go to a geothermal energy facility and learn about it or something. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah,
Well,
yeah,
when you travel around and whatnot, uh, especially in your chosen profession, that's how you get the jobs, man. You
yeah,
scope out what kind of work is available, even if it's maybe going out there seasonally or something.
yeah, yeah. So that's
So,
the thing is like it's a slight job search in a way, but more so of just the experience of I like to learn as much as I can anywhere I go when I travel, and
mhm.
really embrace the culture and stuff like that. So I will eat meat out there. Um,
Now, the fact that you said that the fact that you said that makes me I'm not saying, I'm just saying I'm suspicious now, because the fact that you said, when I go to a place I like to take in there. So what do you do otherwise? Like,
uh,
do you usually like to go to places and not take in the culture and not like learn anything? See, because if this is, I've always thought that I was just assumed that about you. I just
yeah.
assumed. I go, Chad's one of those kind of guys. No matter where he goes, what he does, he's always trying to learn, trying to take it in. Now you tell me out loud, well, oh yeah, when I go places, I like to take in the culture. I like to You know, I like that.
Yeah.
You know, when I go places, I don't like to rape the local women there. You know, I tend not to rape the local women when I go to places.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Oh, sorry, I'm just an old curmudgeon. You know.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I'm thinking like no tourism package, perhaps.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, listen, you never know if there's any chicks out there. You better bring your tourism package if you know what I'm saying, buddy.
You're right.
You know, it reminds me when I first started visiting Hawaii in the 80s, in the early 80s. The first thing I did was I went into the ABC store and bought the most tackiest, gaudiest matching fucking outfit and wooden thing around. It was just hideous. Like it's if you know, I would assume that if you're a local, that's who you would look for to go beat up. And since I'm always looking for attention, that's what I dressed like. When I first got to Hawaii, I dressed like a full-on flaming tourist. You know, uh, I mean, to the point where my mom, because I would go with my mom and my grandmother, and bring my girlfriend or something, and yeah, they would just every time they would look at me, they would laugh. You know, they'd like look at the album, like just laugh and take another picture. There's a hundred and some odd pictures of me in that outfit. But you know, you probably working in Waikiki might have had to have worn that outfit on an occasion.
I don't know, man.
Because I
I
don't know, don't some of the local brothers kind of put that shit on as a joke?
Yeah, like a coconut bra and like a, a skirt because I've seen
Well,
that.
yeah, same shop, but no, oh, I wouldn't go there, bro. And one local Kanaka wearing one
What?
coconut bra.
What? What you
Um,
Uh,
oh man, it is. The heat wave is here, so
yeah, how
it's
hot is it out there, man?
it taps into the hundreds, so 90s into the hundreds, upper 90s into the hundreds.
Mm,
The kind of flexes up into that area. I'm really fortunate because this area here, I could probably turn that. You can hear me. Um, yeah, the this house, this manor, this mansion. No, it's a manor. Is I'm on the ground floor, and it stays cool. You
no,
know, I think there's a poltergeist, like a river of dead bodies running underneath where I'm staying here because it's just always cool, you know.
yeah.
But it fools you, you know, like you're doing stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, okay, okay. And then I go outside to go be like, okay, I'm gonna go and do stuff outside, right? Then I go outside and go, oh my God, no, 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 no. You know,
Blazing.
so, yeah. And then and not to mention, I don't know what's happening over where you're at, but so far I've shopped twice. Last week and this week, shopped twice. One bag of groceries, $100.
Yeah, I mean it's not that different where I'm at. I go to
One bag of groceries.
Yeah, I'll go to two different stores and I'll probably spend about $100 on like between $80 and $100 a week for groceries.
Yeah.
And every
Ah.
I try to like stretch that 80 to 100 to like go for 2 weeks, and then I'm just like, eating like the very scraps of like what I got
But
left.
dude, I'm even hitting the food banks, and it's still $100
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous,
groceries.
man.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
like,
actually,
whoa.
yeah, and even if you do like all the coupon sales and everything like that, like it's still pretty
Yeah,
expensive. Like I could do
yeah,
like what Safeway had like a $45 thing, and then with all the coupons, it went down to like 32 or something, or 30. And I was like, okay, it's all right, I guess. But
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
also buying selectively what they have put on sale and not necessarily what I actually want, you know?
Right, right,
And
right.
that kind of gets me, and it gets me into this weird conspiratorial thinking of like, yeah, I'm only eating what they put on sale, and they put on sale because it's convenient. They're controlling what I eat. Like,
Well, there's certainly a certain amount of truth to that. Luckily, if you're not restricted in your diet, I'm
yeah,
on like this highly restricted diet now. Can't believe it. I went from like, I don't even know how this happened, but yeah, now I'm on a highly restricted diet. I got to get like 170 grams of protein a day in.
dude, wait, are you 170 now, or how?
No, 161.
You're 161.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't weighed myself recently, but
yeah.
damn, dude, you look swole. You look swole for what is it, sexy 3?
Yeah, sexy for damn. I'm getting older by the moment.
No, it's still sexy too. Still sexy.
um, yeah. Thing is like it's funny when you're bodybuilding, right? You feel it inside more than you see it on the outside at
Yeah.
first, and that's that point where you go, okay, if you push it now, if you keep going, what's on the inside is going to start appearing on the outside. Because I feel really, strong, right?
Hmm.
Um, but I don't look as strong as I feel when I look in the mirror. I'm like, ooh, you got, yeah, and it's nitpicking me,
Yeah.
It's
Just
but,
picky. Yeah.
but yeah, I know that if I want to get to that point, because my goal, again, the challenge is real. You got eating the food, the health challenges. It all kind of goes hand in hand. Like, for instance, I found out right after I decided to commit to bodybuilding, I found out that I had to severely restrict my diet. Well,
Mm,
how fucking ironic.
yeah.
Because when you do bodybuilding, you have to highly restrict your diet.
Hmm.
So it works out,
Yeah.
but in the sense of what you're talking about, buying food that's on sale, that's out of it.
And,
I have to buy these foods, period. And it
yep.
sucks. It
Yep.
sucks. I'm like, oh no, you know? So, but I'm not bellyach. It's just kind of funny how that happened, where now I'm forced to do what it is that I've been wanting to do for, I guess my whole life,
Hmm.
which is I always wanted to be uh, be look eligible for a bodybuilding contest. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not necessarily be in a bodybuilding contest, because I'm the same way in martial arts and bodybuilding.
Right.
I want to be able to kick ass, but I don't want to fucking go into competition and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I
I
got
want to look like I want to, I want to get that appearance, but I don't want to have to go into competition or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
want to laugh. I want to go to competitions and laugh at guys when they're up there.
yeah, I guess if you the difference in competing and fighting and bodybuilding at your age is that, at least in the bodybuilding department, you don't have to worry about getting hurt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
You can
huge.
you can just flex and be like, "Oh yeah." Oh, geez." Like, mm.
Yeah, you know what's weird though is when you lift or what, like I don't know if I told you as I was lifting, and people just think that it's okay to come up and touch you. Yeah, like,
Yeah, what's up with that?
oh wow, look, you got. I'm like, oh no, no, what are you doing? The
Yeah,
fuck's
you're
fucking
busy.
touch?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I, if it was chicks or something, that'd be a different story. But
Yeah, if this chick comes up
yeah.
in your pec, like, "Oh, that's a solid pec
uh,
you got there."
Um, but yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you regarding the weightlifting. Was Wednesday, I was doing some shrugs, what are called shrugs, right?
Mhm.
And the old way of doing shrugs used to be like this.
Right.
Then we started just doing them like this. And now they're doing them like this
Mhm.
because they want to get to more to
Or
that muscle group.
a
As
further
opposed to here, you're kind of using your
or like
back and stuff,
more
so you're isolating that deltoid more by leaning forward. So
uh
that definitely works. However, doing shrugs, you got to use a lot of weight, and so I've had like 80 pounds, I guess, which is a lot of weight for me. For training, 80 weights. For powerlifting, no, but for just training, lifting, repetitive lifting, 80 pounds is a lot. And so I leaned over, did a couple shrugs, and I was like, "Ow." Totally messed my whole back up, messed me up,
no.
right? But it was an epiphany. And the epiphany is this: if you don't eat enough protein, then your body, your muscles, and it's so fucking obvious, but it's not until you feel it. Say it yourself. If you don't eat enough protein for muscle repair, then you're going to get injured when you lift.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that makes
Yeah. And this is actually insanely new information for me. I, and not information like I didn't know. Like I could have, if like if you asked me, I could have said, I would have told you that. But that's not the way it works when you're doing your own work. I mean, you can say shit and know stuff technically, but
mhm.
it just isn't there until you felt it. And then you go, oh, if I don't eat 50 to 70 grams of protein per serving, 170 grams of protein a day, and if I don't eat that and I continue to lift, it's simple. I'm going to hurt myself.
Mm.
You're not building the necessary muscle in order to lift the weight.
Right.
It's really simple. But God, I can't believe it's taken 62 years to figure that one out. And
God.
yeah, next thing you know, somebody's going to tell me that you should wipe up and not down.
Uh,
what, what new things shall we learn? So, um, yeah, and also it's no, it's goofy is how unspecial I feel. I
mm.
mean, sure, people here and there. Oh, you're 62. Whatever, man. You know what? There's just a bunch of 60, 70 year olds that all they do is lift and work out. They probably look better than they've ever looked in their whole life from like the neck down.
Yeah.
But they ain't fooling nobody from the neck up. They ain't fooling nobody.
No, they're not.
Nope, you're still 70 years old, Grandpa.
They're
You're
back
just like these
epidermis.
Simpsons, like the janitor on the Simpsons,
What was his name?
I don't know. I used to have a friend. He was a real geeky kind of guy, very geeky, very outwardly geeky, nerdy. Bifocal glasses, and constantly doing this kind of thing. And
Oh,
we became, we were like best friends for a while, and he got really turned on by weightlifting because when I met him, it was in my teens, 20s, I think, yeah, 19 or something. And I was like 180 pounds. I was a bodybuilder back then. And yeah, 180. Can you imagine 182? I'm only 162 now. 182. That's nuts. So
you're like a little monster.
yeah, so he got involved in lifting, but he also got involved in meth.
Oh.
So for years and years, for all I know, he could still be doing it. Does meth and lifts weights. Total nerd, total geek. You know, uh, out of his mind at this point from doing meth for so long. But I wouldn't put it past him that he's still lifting weights, man. And it's just funny because you look at him from the neck up, and he's just this goony, geeky. But if he took his shirt off and he never got the definition because he would eat and he would power lift, so he'd get a good chest, maybe some arms, but he'd always have this big old belly on him. Like not a fat belly, just like a distended belly, like
like
that
a
kind of
cat
thing.
belly.
Yeah, yeah, like he could suck it in. Uh, but yeah, he would lift weights and do drugs. I mean, I guess if you wanted to do contests and whatnot, you could maybe incorporate some some of that, right?
Yeah, they'll do meth and steroids.
Oh my God. The problem with the meth is just eat away at your muscle tissue.
like would you
Oh God.
This one is eating my brain tissue, but this one is trying to what?
Yeah, you're trying to counterbalance. Okay, that reminds me of something else I want to really fucking complain about. Bubba. Justin says Bubba Belly and meth lifting.
Belly meth lifting.
um there's this commercial there's a lot of commercials similar to it. And it's a young guy, maybe he's in his 20s. And he's saying, you want better memory? Well, take Chaga. Or you want this? You then take this. You want, then take lion's mane. You want more energy? You take caffeine. Anyway, there is nothing more that enrages me more, makes me want to break the damn phone, is when I see a 20-year-old giving fitness advice.
Yeah, a 20-year-old.
And I got to admit, I cashed in on that cow. When I was in my 20s, one of my side hustles was teaching fitness,
Yeah.
So and I'm 20 years old. And come on, you look good when you're young. That's all there is
Yeah.
to it. There's nothing you did to get that, you know.
Hmm.
And if you work out for like, I don't know, a week, when you're 20 years old and you work out for 1 week, I don't know about you, but I'm like, damn, 1 week. You
Yeah.
know? No, I can't do. I've been training for 4 months now. I haven't been able to do what I could do in 1 week
Hmm.
as a 20-year-old. Yeah, your body just morphs so quickly, so easily.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, me too, man. I mean, 34, and I'll do workouts, and I see, I've been seeing gradual change over the months and stuff like that, but it's nothing like when I was in prime and junior lifeguard and lifeguarding shape, where
Yeah.
I could bike like 20 miles and still go another 20 after that. Now I'm like, I do 10 up here in the high altitude, and I'm damn, like.
Well, I remember when I was in my 20s, I would go running with people, and as they ran this way, I would run around them. As I ain't lying. I would run circles, literally run circles around them as they were running.
That must have looked so silly.
Like I'd be running backward, literally running circles backwards.
Yeah. Would you
You
talk to
know?
them too? It'd be
Oh
kind
yeah. Oh totally.
of. Yes. What'd you eat this morning?
uh, I do not have those capabilities anymore. I will admit to not having those capabilities.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it costs a little bit of money, but I kind of want to get one of the gym memberships around here, maybe like an annual one, perhaps, so that way I can get my swimming breath back.
ah, yeah, yeah,
Because I found the swimming thing to be a very good trainer, especially when especially in terms of like martial arts and stuff, right? Because there's times where
yeah,
you hold your breath until you can get into your position.
right.
I thought it's a very um,
Yeah, and not to mention you're a water guy, man.
yeah,
You're
I can't help it.
you're a water dude, man. So that's yeah. I wish I like to pretend I'll put on the speedo and put the cap on and eye and ears and get a little nose clip and maybe have a special. I'll go buy all the gear. Then I get in the water.
Yeah, that's what you told me you think.
just walking.
Good train. You could run rock without the rock. You could just run.
Oh, that would be ridiculous.
That was one of my favorite exercises back in my lifeguard days. Was
Oh yeah, that
run
was fun,
rock.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
rock
Everybody
running.
we'd take the rock, and then all of our classmates would hold shoulders, and we'd have like a train of like 5 people on like one person running rock. Oh god, it was fun. It was rough, but it was fun. Yeah.
um, so we're I'd say we're coming up on the towards the uh towards the potential end of our 10 minutes to the end of our stream. I wanted to talk about getting these damn things. On one hand, yeah, I've been stressing on getting the gear out to you because I want to get this thing going, right? So on one hand, I've been stressing on not getting the gear out to you, but on the other hand, I still don't know how we're going to do that. I think the only, I mean, I'm not going to I'm not going to wait until I figure out how to do it, because the one thing I know that we can do is you can plug in and access GarageBand, plug in your gear into, and so, and that on itself is good, you
Hmm.
know. Um,
Yeah.
I just I so okay. This is what I wanted to make sure I got across to you today, was that what I've been trying to do. I think I'm just an idiot because I'm trying to do a stream where both of us are here.
Hmm.
Then both of us are plugged into our audio
Yeah.
devices, right? So we're
Right.
not talking like this, we're talking through headphones and microphone.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that's doable. I still think that that's doable, but I'm trying to just do one more. I want to be able to do picture in picture. I want to be able to go, hey Chad, check this out.
Yeah. Picture in picture would be good too. Picture in all.
And it plays. And then you go, oh yeah, well check this out. Or I go, hey, check this out. And I replace us with a whole thing. And then that goes away. We come back, or we're talking over a video that plays.
Hmm.
That's all doable.
Yeah.
That's all doable. But the thing is I realize the way I'm trying to do things is just kind of stupid, because there's no way that we're going to be able to do that and have picture in picture without the expense of what it's going to take to do that, or
Mm.
what it's going to take for me to do that. So I think what that is like is those roadcaster units, their actual physical hardware. So it's doing the hard work and not having your processor doing it as it's streaming as well. Because
Mm.
that's the problem. I'm on my computer, I'm streaming, I'm trying to play a YouTube video while I'm streaming on the stream. It's like,
Right. Yeah.
no wonder that's not working. I mean, the thing is that it is working, but it doesn't work well because it freezes up and it crashes and all that. Well, of course it does, you know.
Yeah.
So I finally realized that today, because I started this at 2:30 and failed, then got made some food a half hour before 5 o'clock, and, and decided to do it this way. But um, but yeah, I think it's just trying to put a square into a round hole.
Mm. Yeah.
It's and the way that people are doing it. If people are doing that, honestly, I don't think I've seen anybody do picture in picture during a guest stream
Yeah. And live also. It's
and
usually
live, right?
pre-recorded, and then they
Yeah.
edit the video and do it that way.
So I'm
Mm.
thinking that well, yeah, if we're streaming live, I could play a pre-recorded video off of my unit. That's another, it's another way. And
Hmm.
I was messing around with that as well. But yeah, it's I think I think I'm gonna have to just yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it. That's it. No more. No more. What's that? Well, that's pretty irrational. That's completely, I don't know what the hell. Yeah, yeah, your device my device. Where
Yeah.
yeah, but and then we both pick up acoustic guitars and go outside. Man, I tell you, that is. I've been trying to get into some sort of, as you know, I've been trying to get into some sort of live performance setup that's acceptable.
Yeah.
And I keep coming into various versions of what I refuse to call looping, but it's looping. I
Uh,
don't care if it's a half hour loop, it's still a loop.
yeah, I know. Dude,
And I just can't do it. I mean, I have great fun by myself. I
Mhm.
think it's a lot like masturbating. It's like not a problem. You're by yourself, you just pull one off, you're good to go. But now you got a room full of people and you want no, you don't want you're like, nah, that's all right.
Yeah, you don't want to loop now. Dude, I know. Oh,
And so
this, this
I'm
guy
like,
was looping.
man, I do not want to loop. I
Yeah.
don't want to loop.
So this guy, I went for a bike ride last week, Friday. This guy was playing music at the kombucha bar where they brew their own kombucha and stuff like that. And I'd seen him play around before. White dude, dreads down to like his ankles, and he's primarily a drummer. So now he plays guitar and he loops on his guitar, and he'll like loop a triangle thing, and then like a little
Mhm.
with the sticks.
Yeah.
But then the thing is that like that'll go on for like 8 measures until like he gets the jazz chords looped in correctly. And then after the jazz chords are looped in correctly, then you're listening to that previous loop that everybody was just hearing by itself for
Yeah, yeah, right,
and now it's like the only thing you can fucking hear in the loop.
right, right. No, even people that are good,
Yeah.
like, okay, because I look at a lot of people play, and now if I see in the title that they're looping, I have an aversion now because I'm like, it doesn't matter how good you are, it's looping. It sucks.
Yeah.
And there are some people that do it really well, especially drummers, like, and percussionists. They lay percussion
Yeah.
and lay, and then maybe do a nice little sort of soundscape on top of it sounds fine, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
It
Loop.
still just sucks. It will never beat a person picking up an instrument and playing that instrument well. It
Yeah.
just won't beat that. Like, I you had you would you and I, we were in the social situation, and you had started looping and whatnot, and you're playing, you kind of developed this loop and you were playing over top of it and stuff, and so you kind of looked at me afterwards and you're like, so, almost has to say, so what do you think? And I'm like, it would have sounded great if you just didn't loop.
Yeah.
Remember
What
that?
what
Oh, I'm sorry.
was
That
that?
wasn't actually a real, that just happened in my head. But
When was
anyway,
that? When was that? I tell you what though, man. I look at myself in third person as I'm it's like fuck off. Sucking, masturbating loop and go back to your room. Like and
so
I
yeah,
did, and I have an instrumental gig on the 11th at in this art gallery, and I I'm not bringing that looper, man.
no,
I'm
don't loop. Don't
not
do it. And the
not.
thing is you don't need to. You literally don't need to. You can play your guitar very well. You're a good singer. You're a good performer. You don't need anything more than that.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm convalescing. I'm an old man. I can hardly even
Oh no.
I get yeah. And so I was desperate. Okay. I was desperate. but I'm realizing that even in my desperation, thou shalt not loop.
No.
No,
Yeah.
just learn how to play something nicely and play the fucking thing. You know, if
Yeah.
it's one song, learn how to play one song and make it sound really good. That's going to be 10 times better than an hour worth of fucking looping.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Oh God, I'm so disappointed with my aspirations towards looping.
It's okay. We've
I
all.
was going to be different. It was going to be different for me. People were going to go, wow, I hate looping, but God, Z sure does loop well. I can't wait to listen to his next looping thing. You know?
Yeah, I remember when looping first like really well, at least when I was on into the music scene in high school, looping started becoming popular in Hawaii with Mike Love. And Mike Love,
Uh-huh.
like his whole like vocal looping, and the vocal looping is kind of interesting, but this one guy I played music with in Hawaii, Jackson, he would loop, he would beatbox loop.
Yeah.
And the beatboxing looping was actually kind of sick. Because you could, because like a drum kit, you could change the percussion like pretty easily, with your boots and cats.
Yeah. What's that famous song that has that beatbox looping in it? What is that famous song? Oh, there is none. Never mind.
Yeah, there's not.
Fuck, I hate looping.
Dude,
Just,
it's listening to it last week on that dude's set, because like I was like, yeah, local musicians, support the local music, right?
yeah.
So going in there to listen, and I couldn't fucking eat the goddamn triangle anymore, dude. Because because he wasn't using the house sound system, so he was using his own like little like one speaker PA system, and like this like doing the sound for it was like completely fucking off. Like the highs were like way too much because the cowbell was just like, or the triangle ringing fucking ear like just completely over sounding the soundscape of the music that he was trying to play. Like instead of the bass being that background holder, it was the fucking triangle.
Yeah.
And it was horrible.
I
can't do it.
Can you? I wanted to show this to you.
What's up?
Can you hear okay?
Yeah.
There is. I'm starting to learn something interesting about guitar. And that is guitars do things a certain way. It's like you're not going to reinvent anything when it comes to certain things with guitar. And I'm just kind of learning this, relearning it,
Mm-hmm.
But first off, the first position. Knowing stuff on the first position, because that gets transposed anywhere on the neck, right? So doing everything here is really important, because this is where you get your open notes, and this is where you're getting the gist of the instrument. So if this were an E, right, you're dealing with an instrument tuned in E standard, so it's going to offer things in that range and not in other ranges, which is very interesting, but for this example, this song, Everlong, do you play Everlong?
I don't.
It's a great song, and the chords are very classic and very telling, because I think I I have a set that I've put together of about 12 songs now. I'm pretty sure 6 of them are all the same fucking chords. You know, it's really interesting, but it's yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is a C.
Yep.
This is an A.
Interesting. Interesting.
This is an F. Oh, I don't know why
Is
I'm
that like
trying to
the
do it that way.
open?
There we go. There's an F. You could do that here. F. And then back to A. Right. And so that's the whole song. That's oh. Let's start over.
Oh yeah. This song, I recognize it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'm not going to sing the whole thing. But it's hello.
Yeah.
I've waited here for you. Yeah, tonight I throw myself into so anyway, that whole structure is really interesting because you got
Yeah.
so they're really jazzy chords playing regular chords in a jazz way, in a very jazzy kind of way because of where you're playing them. Because you could go like,
right. Yeah. You could power chord.
Right? You could do that.
Yeah.
But if you learn it here, then you're starting to see some really neat voices, like.
Right. Yeah. You can. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it has some really, and it's all nice and open. One of the things that I'm really trying to learn is, and again, this is all coming from jazz mostly, is that, instead of playing all those big, thick, look for where is the 2-finger version of that. Where's the two-finger version? Where's the 2-finger version? Because there's going to be a 2-finger version somewhere along the neck for a chord that's going to make it sound way cooler, and it's going to have more options available. Like, instead of playing this C, and now my fingers are all, I can't do anything. Now I got this.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You got all that available because your fingers are there, or you can do stuff with your fingers.
Yeah, more dexterity available to like
Yeah.
slide up to another note because your fingers won't get tangled or something, Yeah.
There's paying attention to that minor third, like God. Right? Where a good example of this is also like
You're about to play Black.
yeah, like the Blackwood. But
Yeah.
those notes are actually from a classical thing. So yeah, Paul McCartney essentially just took a classical piece and took that run, because the run is the run is
Yeah.
and that's actually a classical run. But it really cool because you can do stuff all from just that
That kind of
one
sound.
finger G,
Yeah.
or the one finger A.
Yeah.
Right. So trying to find the because I've mostly, my approach to the guitar has been very caveman. But now I'm like more like, hold on. Just again looking for just that 2-finger version of it. Like I never played this way. I never played that. I always played it this way, or this way, or I just like that, and that sounds great. But now all my fingers are busy. I can't go anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
So by doing this now I've and then I've got this interval that can move around because of the B string.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because otherwise you'd have to be like here to do that.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have that B string, which allows you to kind of treat it like a parallel note.
Yeah.
Which is really nice if you're doing something like you're here. And stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know how much you look at other guitar instruction online and stuff. But the one thing I always will look, but I don't inquire too deeply, because you want to be a student, but you also don't want to be a copy machine.
Yeah.
So I only want to learn from certain people and certain things up to a certain point. And usually it's just to validate what I'm learning and discovering on my own anyway, right? So I don't have to worry too much about sounding like Stevie Ray Vaughan or whatever, right? But,
I think
because they're great players. All these guys, they can play great. There's literally millions of guitar players better than me.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But there are no guitar players that are you. And so if you develop your own style, and developing your own style really comes through playing the instrument on your own, and listening to yourself, and trying to figure stuff out on your own terms. And then that's what's going to give you things that sound more like you rather than sound like somebody else. And like for instance, sounding like Zappa or sounding like Hendrix, especially nowadays, you could go online and look that shit up all day
Yeah.
long and sound just like them. But if I sound at all like Hendrix, it wasn't because I tried to play anything from Hendrix.
Right.
It's because I loved Hendrix. I liked that sound, and it influenced my discovery.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but I still don't know how to play like Hendrix.
Yeah, same. I'm with you on that perspective on it too, because
Yeah.
I mean I had a guitar slash music teacher for a little bit, you know, and which essentially taught me all my pentatonics, all my diatonics, how to use modes and play with modes. I'm still not like the most proficient in like choosing a mode to really, but when I'm online looking at other sources for music, like you said, it's kind of just to kind of verify what I already know.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that I look for most is like our exercises
Mm-hmm.
and exercises and like interval training is kind of like things that I'll just kind of what I pay attention to most.
Yeah, that's good. Interval training, man. You can't ever get too much of that, man.
Yeah.
That really helps to develop your ear.
Yeah.
You
You
know.
know, I found like listening to this one album, Ella Fitzgerald Live at Zardy's. Every now and then I'll put on that album and I'll like play guitar karaoke to it, where I try to emulate the same notes that Ella Fitzgerald sings.
Mm.
And the intervals that she's doing, like it is some tough interval training, like listening to her sing and then trying to copy it on the guitar. But I learned so much from it too,
Oh
you
yeah, yeah.
know.
That's a Jaco Pastorius lesson right there. That's what the I think the most important thing I ever learned from Jaco is that learn melody. If you learn a song, learn the melody and be
Mhm.
able to play the melody and be able to play the melody all over the neck, because that's what's really gonna, that melody is what the music is. And so you're really able to, you really know the song when you know the melody. When I was rehearsing guys in LA for my band, um, I would they would walk in and they'd usually get a tape and they practice to the tape. And but I tell them, I said, you gotta learn the lyrics, and some guys they wouldn't learn the lyrics. And yeah, they're like, and they struggle with the music. I'm like, yeah, you didn't do what I told you, man. You gotta learn the lyrics. Learn
Right.
the lyrics, then you won't struggle with the music.
Mhm.
Because the melody is what's telling everything else what to and what not to play.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good that's a really good lesson to learn. And like a lot of the people that jam music out on the Thursdays that I host, they're starting to get better at listening to the melody, because at first it was like the melody would be playing and like, you know, you have the people that one fucking thing, you know, like they're
on
hearing the
Planet
music,
X.
but they're hearing their music not in reference to the music that's being played, you know.
Yeah.
And
And
but
then going home to telling their wives that everybody sucked.
yeah, so when I so when I so now when I have, you know, the jam up there, I just make up the chords and I get everybody to be playing the chords first, and then okay, piano, okay, guitar, okay, bass, okay, percussion if you want to slap and do your, you know, do a percussion solo or
Oh, I
what.
see what you've done. You've turned actual live human beings into loopers, haven't you? You've turned each and one of them into a looper.
For now,
I will
for now.
successfully loop.
Yeah, I had to help them with the first step, I think, because it's not easy, you know, for people that aren't used to jamming with other musicians that they haven't played before. Like, I mean, I had that issue until I learned more about playing music with you. So, you know,
Well, I'll tell you, it never amazes me when I get together with people that have maybe spent a lot of time on their instrument and find out they can't count to 4.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's bizarre, you know.
it is.
It's
I mean,
fucking
I had a
bizarre.
12-bar blues going the other day, and then it was my turn to solo, and they had already I like the last one to solo, and they'd already played the chords like 8 times over, 8 measures over, so I figured they had it.
Yeah.
And then I jumped in the solo, and then they got lost, and then they didn't have it. And I was like, "Fuck me, god damn it! Okay, I'll go back to playing the
Oh,
chords."
that sucks when they don't hold it together for your solo.
I know, and I was like, "It's the same 12-bar blues that you taught me," you know. So with the G, or is it G major 7, 9, and then the C9 and D9s, you know. Um, yeah, they didn't hold it together for me, so I had to that, but it's okay. It's all right.
Hey, you just start playing it. You got to pick it up for them.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I mean, that's part of why we're there, right? So that people can, get out of their comfort zones and learn more about how to, improvise and just be a better musician with other musicians, really.
Well, that's what being a band leader is, why it's so important to have band leaders. A lot of people don't even understand the concept of a band leader. They think it's 3 or 4 people and they're all equal.
Mm-hmm.
No. No, if that's the case, I'm sorry, but I know when I'm playing with other musicians, I'm hoping that the other 3 or 2 or 3 musicians are better and I'm the one that sucks the most. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And if I am the best player, then there's a quick meeting that has to be had
Yep.
that goes like this: I'm better than all of you. Listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the end of, like, because whenever the ball drops, all you got to do is stop and refer to the leader, and then
Mm-hmm.
the leader. And even if the leader is wrong, this is another thing: if the leader is wrong, everybody should follow the leader. You know, so that's hard because people have a sense of autonomy and no, what was this? There's what is it when you're by yourself? Sovereign. Jesus.
Sovereign.
Yeah. So people have this sense of sovereignty when they play music, and they kind of lose the idea that no, it's a group, and within that group there has to be a leader.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just. I mean, I'm sure there's. I don't know. Maybe there's examples of, like, exceptions, right? I don't know of any. I don't. Every great music I know, there's a musical leader involved. There's somebody that, and in fact, that's it's best that way because then the other musicians can relax.
Yeah.
The band leader's like got all the instruments and everything going and thinking about them, trying, it allows the other guys to relax and play better when you have a band leader.
Yeah. My friend who I told you is going to move to San Francisco. He has he's the leader of his band, Dreams of Future Machines, a really cool band. And so he's gonna go play for this band when he moves to San Francisco called Maximum Momentum. And he won't be the band leader of
Oh,
this band. And he's like, yeah, it's kind of nice, man. Like, I don't have to worry about booking shows or like writing all the music. Like,
yeah,
I can just can be the guitar dude, you know?
I know, that's nice, man. It is nice. I like, yeah. I want someday. I often have daydreams of maybe like someday being a drummer in a band. you know,
Dude, no, man.
where I just play drums.
When we have that warehouse, bro, I'm it's still in my mind. I don't know if I
Oh,
hear
yeah.
I'm still making
Yeah,
I still want a warehouse.
yeah. Yeah, man. Okay, the drum. That's just the thing, man. If the drums, and this is so I don't know how long it's going to be, or if it, but
Yeah.
I can play anything on the fucking drums, you know. But I don't ever play drums. I mean, I rarely play drum. I play drums for my own recordings, but that's not featuring me as the drummer. That's just me taking care of the basics for the rhythm and whatnot.
Yeah.
But as far as like being a drummer, you know, yeah, I still feel like I'm maybe like good enough with like some practice that I could probably be in a fusion band, you know, like a jazz
Sweet.
fusion band.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that on guitar.
We don't have to do anything crazy. We can play some chill music. We should just make a surf music band. Play some surf music. All instrumental. We'll be like what was that band? The Mermen. The Mermen.
Yeah. Well, I was in a band called the Hobras. I don't know if you remember the Hobras. You remember them?
No.
Yeah, the Hobras.
Cobras.
Yeah, it was a surf band. It was
Oh,
good. It was really good surf music. But
dude.
the band leader of that band was just too fucked up on drugs. So
Yeah,
yeah.
leader, man. Gosh. Yeah, I'm like leading a band is sort of new to me. So like, I'd say I was probably a pretty bad band leader when I was in Missouri.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I had bandmates that, I mean, they were okay and stuff, but I guess I was part of it too, though, man. That wasn't a good time for my self when I was in Missouri, getting blatantly and stupidly intoxicated.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, man. That's another thing. When you're doing music and you're getting all fucked up,
Yeah, it's just
now it's a coin toss. It's a fucking,
yeah,
it's like, and I've done it. I mean, I've spent most of my life as a musician fucked up, playing as a musician. It's rather unfortunate. It really is.
mhm.
Looking back at it, like, bro, I was playing with some of the fucking. Yeah. I was playing with some of the highest, musicians. Not, I want to say high musicians, but they weren't great musicians. They were just very popular. I was
Yeah.
I was playing in that circle where if I would have kept my wits about me, man, you know. But instead, I was just like, fucking being a rock star,
Yeah.
enjoying the chicks and the drugs and all that shit. It's such a shame, such a shame. And like, I've said this before regarding Ronnie, where, yeah, I still have nightmares, but she, but she really brought me back to playing music. Really did, and brought it back like not even brought it back, but brought it back where it needed to be, where it never was. Like I
Mm.
never played music. Seriously, I played music to get laid. I played music to party. I played music to play. You know,
Hmm.
but I didn't never, and I knew that enough that I went to music college and tried to fix it. But I just 2 weeks into music college, I got hired to play music, and it didn't work out the way I had planned. You know,
Yeah.
but I'm glad now. A lot like I was saying, how I'm old and I have to restrict my diet, and it works out because I restrict my diet for lifting. Well, now with playing music, I have to really approach it with with those restrictions, you know, yeah, I lost that parallel. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad that you know, you're at that state with music now, because it you know, all of my friends are my greatest influences in music, and yeah, you help me, man.
Cool, man. Well, you know,
you
hopefully
Nalu.
we can keep learning from each other because
Yeah.
uh, you know that's what it's all about, man. Is just finding those little things, finding those little gems, and finding those and also here's the part. Here's the part. Here's the part. Doing the work that there's no music involved. It's chords, it's patches, it's buses, it's audio signal, it's balanced and unbalanced. It's fucking 48 versus 44.1. It's 32 floating bit versus 16. It, you know, and not just knowing that, because I've always known that shit, but knowing it,
Hmm.
you know, it really interesting. I've even been doing this as folks around here have been needing help connecting their gear. When guy audio, he's trying to connect his audio gear. Had him get. I had him buy an audio interface. Um, I was like, oh, I got an audio interface, but you buy your own, bitch. But he bought an audio interface, and I hooked his whole system up, and that was like an old fucking PC, you know. And I
Yeah.
hooked up some old television, a couple old televisions. And the thing which, by doing that, because I was just doing favors, but it made me realize this is part of it.
Hmm.
Like being fluent in the technology instead of being whiny ass little bitch is so important, you know,
Yeah.
because if you're a whiny ass little bitch, even you don't want to finish. You're like, ah, fuck it, man. You
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
if you go, no, this should work, and I don't know what's going to take an hour or two of diving into it and geeking into it, figuring out. And that's part of it because without being able to do that, you can't do the other stuff.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, okay, go ahead and try to record your acoustic guitar with a microphone and have it sound good. Good luck because you haven't done the work. You've played your guitar and you
Yeah.
know how to play the song, but you have no idea regarding all the other issues involved with recording and playing music. You know, uh,
Yeah.
you know, for recording you should play pick or I don't know. There's just so many. So it's interesting that it's not just about playing music; it's about also doing the work surrounding music, like amps and guitars and strings, and
Yeah.
and I've always hated that shit. Well, I just want to fucking play music, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I
because in
always
the
make the
rock
joke.
star world, you hire people to do all that shit, and all you do is just walk on stage, all stumbling. Somebody
Yeah.
puts a guitar on you, and then you're a god. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I need to start changing up the joke, but if there's one thing a musician could do without, it's having too many chords.
Too many chords,
Yeah.
as in chords.
No, I mean, as in chords. But as in chords, as in chords.
Man, chords.
Having too many chords is like you connect all your quarter inches, and then you connect all your XLRs, and then you connect all your auxiliaries, and then it's all chords.
I'm waiting for tomorrow or the next day. I got some more chords coming.
I think I'm starting to have to upgrade too. Oh yeah, check it out. I made a music corner in my room.
Oh, sweet.
So now
There
that's
you go.
my little music corner.
Nice.
And, yeah, had to move things around a little bit, so get myself a little bit more operable. Get my being more operable. So now I got bam and bam.
Yeah.
I can go from one thing to the other.
I know, man. You can run different channels just by switching the view.
Yeah.
Now
Indeed.
we're in Dirty Dojo. Now
Right.
we're in Outside Free.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, right. So you should learn Everlong.
Okay.
Now, I don't. Hey, are you in E standard?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hesitate to suggest that you do it.
Drop D. Or
I'm in C sharp standard.
C sharp standard.
Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right.
so look, C sharp. Now this is. Look how nice. Look how here. Listen how G sounds.
It sounds so like deep and resonating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
G. Look how the D shape. I say D. The shape of D, not the actual.
Yeah. The triads of D.
Yeah, but the shape of D, like. The resonance is and deep, like yeah, it's. I like it. I can't play an E standard anymore. And also, for some freaky reason, when I pick up the guitar to jam with music, like I'm playing along with a CD or something, it always works. Like the chords are always right there. That nothing. It's freaky actually. Like it's right there. Like for instance, I was which one was the right. Yeah. God, I have to hear it in my head. Damn it. Yeah. But anyway, I'll play this along with the song, right? With a certain finger, with the finger, and play in the same key, right? But then all I do is move it down one or two to transpose it for my voice because I have a lower voice, so nothing's in singing tune for me. So I can learn the song in that key and then just move the whole thing down, and it's in the area that I normally would play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Like like things that are really tricky. Once you get up here, you go, oh well. Once they're here, it's just the D shape, G shape, C shape.
Yeah.
That's really fucking cool, man. So anyway, I would highly suggest that you play around with C sharp because
Okay, I'll dabble.
C sharp is also the standard tuning for Indian music.
Ah.
So I notice when I play Indian music, boy, it's all right there. It's the tone and everything is
Yeah.
all right in there, ready to go. So, but anyway,
So drop. So you're not. So you're going lower, much lower, because you're
the whole
one
it's standard tuning.
D
So
flat, so to speak.
right. So it's all still the
okay.
same intervals, but
Gotcha.
yeah, it's a C sharp.
Okay.
And man, and for playing, like, man, for playing like that,
Playing
E
some
is
rock.
crazy. That's nice and low, man. That's pretty metal
Yeah.
for an acoustic guitar, man.
Sounds like you're about to play some crazy.
So, but that song Everlong, man, great song. You got a good voice for it. If you like the song, you should consider it because
I
it's
do
an
like the song.
easy one to play. It's just
Yeah, 4
that's it.
chords.
Those are the chords,
D A F A. Okay.
Yeah, easy and great lyrics. And if you know how to play it, when we finally jam, that will be part of your repertoire already. And also, you if you don't know, do you know Blackbird?
I do actually. I mean I know the main riff of the song.
Here's the thing. Blackbird is an incredible learning song because the strumming on is like this is the that strumming is really a lot harder than it sounds because most people don't play the song properly. They're like they're that's not how it goes.
Yeah, it was almost. I remember it being almost slightly flamenco in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But this is the whole pattern right here.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Right. That is
Waiting
really
for this moment to arrive.
that really really educational because you're doing these wonderful intervals and moving up and down the neck and changing you're not just going you're doing more like yeah. You're doing some very cool things in there. And so even if you never play Blackbird, you've got it really develops the skills to, I'm trying to play without seeing the neck right now, and it's not working out. But But yeah, it gives you some some dexterity that's really important.
Around on the neck, and finding those notes.
And then being like, for instance, if I'm breaking out like a jam like this. Anyway, it gives you. As soon as I can't see the neck, it's retarded. Yeah, it gives you some really good skills for moving around. And again, you're just using two fingers, So
Yeah.
I think Django Reinhardt proved to us that, man, that's all you need.
Yeah, he just uses his index, middle, and ring.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a pinky finger on his fretboard.
Mm-hmm.
That guy just shreds it. Gypsy Jazz. There's a band that covered all of his music in Hawaii, and I would go to see every single one of their shows.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
They were great.
There's a lot of great musicians in
Hawaii. The guy who played Django, he was like, no one else could play his part because Django Reinhardt is so, I mean, his music is pretty insane. But the guy that played Django was also a pilot or something for an airline. I forget which airline, but he was a cool dude, I guess. He's definitely trying to hit on the harpist chick that I was sort of dating at the time. I don't know if we were dating or just fucking around, but yeah. This is good shit. Yeah, we went to go see him a few times. But anyways.
You're Djangoing it.
Bar chords and stuff. Yeah, no bar chords when your finger hurts.
Yeah. But man, learning to play bar chords was really bad, man. If I were to go back,
yeah, bar chords.
But how do you know? Yeah, how do you know what you don't know, right? So
yeah,
but I would never have developed that habit of like doing this.
Yeah, I know. It's so habitual for me to do it.
It's horrible, man.
It is.
It is. My hand falls asleep real quickly, like that. I'm realizing that I have to make my playing more sophisticated, moving and flowing, in order for my hand not to fall. Of course, your hand's gonna fall asleep if you do this.
I know, right?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, with your feeling and your emotion and all this, and all you really need to be doing is like just two little. There it is. That's all the sound you needed, right there. Now, there is something that I should barely. I shouldn't even admit this, but I'm going to admit it. I'm going to admit it.
Admit it.
Man, you really got to have sensitivity.
Yeah.
And I have not been a sensitive musician. I've been a fucking brute, a brute. Like, oh, slap, slap. Fuck, bro. and it got me nowhere. All it got me was really bad carpal tunnel. You know, I mean, what the fuck?
You do have some sick music that you put out. I gotta say, I like the music you
Yeah,
put
but it hurt.
out.
It was didn't need to hurt that much. You know,
I guess it didn't.
I could just let the amp do the work. You know.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Every now and then when I'm playing live, like sometimes I'm like gripping the fretboard too hard or something, and I'm like, why am I gripping it that hard?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't need to grip it that hard. Like, I have a pretty strong grip. Like,
Yeah, I know, right? You know what's interesting is I'm noticing that my hand falls asleep also if I don't know the piece as well as I think I do. Like if I really know the piece and I've really been working on it, my hand doesn't fall asleep. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. So there's a lot going on in the neuropathy and the nerves and all that. Yeah, that's man. Sometimes it's just weird playing. I don't know if this happens to you yet, or if it will ever happen to you. But sometimes I'll be playing, and man, my fingers. It's just like, what the fuck? Does anybody know how to play this? Like it's just it's not. And then I really will have to like make my hands like behave. Like no, stop going like that. Whatever you're doing, what are you even doing? Come on, just play. Nice. What? It's weird, man. It's weird. It's like spastic. So anyway, that's what I didn't want to admit. I didn't want to admit that I'm way more spastic than I ever thought. And the thing is, I'm afraid that other people might see it better than I see it in myself. Like, damn, that dude is spastic. Like, shit. Yeah, maybe. Oh, your audio disappeared.
how about now?
There you go.
Okay, I think somehow I accidentally pressed the mute button. No wonder. I have to get going here fairly soon because
yes.
I have to refill my water before the store closes.
All right, man. Cool, man. Justin, I don't know if you're still in, but thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Justin.
And
Justin's gonna play bass for us, right? Bass. Is that what he played? Did he play
no,
bass?
he's a guitar player.
Oh, he's a guitar
Yeah.
player. Okay.
Yeah, Justin is one of the most unique. Has some really good stuff. I mean, I don't know if he's still here, and I don't want to blow bubbles up his ass, but man, he does some really, really good noise, thrash, like punk, but real good stuff. Really good. Like, you know, I couldn't play drums for it.
Huh.
It's that good.
Damn.
It's that good. Yeah. But he has to get it together. He has to find some. I couldn't play drums for him, so that says a lot about like who the fuck is he going to find to play that stuff? Because you can tell it's in his time and in his tone and his time. It's all
Right.
in his tone and in his time, and a musician would actually have to learn that, you know.
Right.
I've taken some of his songs, tried to learn it. I was going to maybe try to lay some tracks to it. I'm like, fuck, bro, I can't keep up. I have no idea where you're at, what you're doing. I love it though. Sounds great.
Yeah.
It really does sound good. I am not kidding, man. It reminds me of like Anal Cunt and some really good punk bands that are out there. He's like, but Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't know if again, this is like we hang out
Yeah,
and like invite people to like eavesdrop on us or
I
something. I
know,
don't know what the
right?
fuck we're doing, bro. We're having these like deep personal conversations, and hey, anybody want to listen? So, so yeah, I'm probably I don't know. I don't. I'm real okay. This would be good to end with, right? We're I'm really trying to get me and us. Right now I'm kind of letting you do what you got to do, but eventually I'm assuming that you're going to get with me and organize, and we're actually going to work together and try to make things happen. That's my
Yeah.
assumptions. Correct me at any point. So,
No, yeah. We're gonna make things happen.
we have to have. It's like we're wasting. We're leaving money on the table. That's the way to say it. We're leaving money on the table by not trying to monetize, and by not monetizing, meaning having something to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, if one person watches this, they have nothing. They've got nothing to buy at the end of this. They've got nothing, and it's not only just a thing to buy, it also reminds them that, oh yeah, there's this channel, right? You and I don't want to sell shit. We're not into selling. However, it's money left on the table. Why even do this? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why do this and not collect at the end, or at least try to collect at the end? You know? So like for the Dirty Dojo, getting the chapters together, getting all that back end stuff together takes hours. um I have to do that, or else it's no sense in even putting it up there. It's like, why are you putting shit up online without offering something for them to buy? That's like fucking retarded. I don't like it. I know you don't like it. I don't like it. But at the same time, it's something that we can do. That's not it's not going to create extra work. You know what I mean? I mean, we're already doing the work. Just do it with the reason that, hey, thanks for stopping by. Be sure and be sure to, hey, and if you like that and remember what we're talking about, you can buy the PDF on that and blah 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 blah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's so fucking simple to put a digital file up online, put a price tag on it, and refer to the fucking thing and put a link to it. It's that fucking simple. So I'm really I'm struggling with this because the struggle is this. I don't want to do anything unless I fucking do it right now. I don't want to fucking put a Dirty Dojo up because that's 12 hours of work or whatever, how many hours of work that I have put in on the
Yeah.
back end, on the metadata, on the fucking the thumbnail, on alternatives for the and making sure that it's linked. Like right now, I could spend probably 3 months just putting shit online. So when we talk, we go, oh yeah, be sure to buy this CD, or be sure to check out this, or the download is right there, or hey, check out the picture. You can actually get a high res image of that picture here. I mean, there's so much cool shit that we can be doing that we're fucking not doing. It doesn't make sense, and yet I continue. I continue. So I'm trying to change the gears here.
Okay.
For me, and then and hopefully for you too. I'm hoping when you got the time that you and I can sort of, help one another, motivate one another in this, that I found out something today that was really fucking disturbing and even put more of a fire underneath my ass. I helped somebody connect their television. Then I went on YouTube on their phone and searched for Smother Party at Smother Party, or was it at no, Freak Outside. Freak Outside. Search for Freak Outside. This fucking channel. Searched for it. You know what came up? Your channel.
What?
Your channel and 5 other people. Not mine.
Huh?
That's nothing on you, by the way. I'm
Yeah,
saying that's fucked up.
yeah.
I mean, I was doing a direct search for at Freak Outside. Nothing. Your channel, some other people's channels. Like, what the fuck? So there is shadow banning going on. There is shit going on. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know to what extent I could take it personal, because it could be various things. It could be various things. Violation of certain things. Overall, the things we've done. Yeah, maybe we violated a thing or two here and there. I don't know.
Whatever could we have violated?
But here's the
No.
thing. Once we can fucking commit to doing what we know we need to do, we could easily just start another channel.
Yeah.
And keep it clean and have it completely unassociated with any of our other channels. Maybe we go in on a channel, so that way we're both on that and working on that
Right. Yeah.
right? And we're both part of that channel from day one, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And then we're always making sure that we're not fucking up or whatever. But there's I feel like we should try one last time, because it's like technical, trying to figure stuff out. You go, oh, does that work? Does this work? Does this work? Does this work? Well, we know what doesn't work because we know it's a violation. And so when we make a video and we wonder why it doesn't do well, it's kind of retarded, because it doesn't matter, man. You've already made like 20 videos and violated the terms of service. So you're probably not going to be able to do anything with this fucking channel or whatever.
Yeah.
But what it's going to take is for us to treat it like a job. Like, okay, this is a part-time job. I'm committing 20 hours a week. This is what I do in those 20 hours. I'm not surfing the fucking web. I'm not doing very specific things. Doing meta tagging,
Mm-hmm.
doing chapters, doing tag work. And if 2 people do that and work together, then and don't violate the terms of use, you should, in theory, be able to fucking monetize. I think it's worth one last try, and it's worth one good, honest try. I don't think we've really given it an honest try, quite honestly.
Yeah, we kind of just did it and then
Yeah. And I think
then
if
learned.
we really give it an honest try, I'll even start a whole new fucking kung fu channel, whatever. I whatever it is, just whatever it is that cock blocks us from being seen. because not being able to trying to look yourself up and you can't even find yourself.
Yeah,
That's fucked up, you know.
yeah.
So one last go, and if it doesn't work, then burn all the fucking digital gear, and go back to fucking pounding rocks and you know.
Yeah, we'll have to conjoin and do physical in-person classes with
Yeah,
word of
yeah. I
mouth.
mean, you know, we'll try. We'll try. Once you're ready, we'll give it a good, honest try, right? And if that doesn't work, then we turn our backs on fucking technology, and we just fucking play drums. Just play a bongo or something. That's
Okay.
it. Just bongo. Yeah, no fucking fancy MIDI. Fucking just bongo. Just
Oh, I
bongo.
can give you at least a time estimate. Well, I mean, I guess you kind of already know that time estimate, but yeah, dude, the end of August when I no longer have to dedicate a 20 to 40 hours to doing that type of work, then yeah, it's a fuck.
Cool, man. Yeah. And you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm, um, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to use, and it's like a stupid, simple word like the or uh or end or there or I don't know, but yeah, words. Fuck them, fuck words, fuck words,
They're all made up anyway.
words, fuck words. Uh, yeah. I'm looking forward to this venture that we will do. I think what I'm trying to say is I've been looking forward to this for a while. I've been looking forward to us coordinating and killing this because here's the thing: I don't like failing. I don't like to fail. There's not a lot of things I've actually failed in. I mean, you know, it's subjective, of course.
Yeah.
But with this fucking with YouTube and whatnot, come on, man. Are you saying that you and we just can't do it?
No.
That doesn't make sense, right?
No.
Yeah, right. That doesn't make sense. You and I, no problem, could do it.
We're entertainers. We
Well, that's what's holding us back. Because we got to do more than be entertainers. We need to be on the back end doing all that fucking back end
Yeah,
in
that's
order
true.
to promote ourselves. And bro, that's why we're doing it. We're doing it so we can then have that resource of being able to play and have a fucking 1,000 people hear us. That's not a big deal. You know, it's not a large order. It is a
Right.
big deal because being able to have 1,000 people listen to you while you play as a musician, as an artist, is fucking huge.
Yeah.
You know, but when you've got fucking 2 people watching your stream, who fucking cares? Who cares? Nobody fucking cares, right? I don't care. You don't care. The person watching doesn't care. Nobody
Yeah.
fucking cares.
We're just hanging out and talking.
So, so yeah, you know, I look forward. Keep me, you know, let me know. Here's the thing. I think this is what I'm trying to say. If something gets in the way of this, please let me know because I'm putting a lot of eggs. A lot of is going into our future plans.
Mm-hmm.
You know how future plans go. You know, a lot of times what happens is the person you make your plans with on the other end, things change. What
Yeah.
sucks about that is when there's not communication. So this is the sort of thing where I'm really kind of, you know, putting a lot into being able to do this with you. If something comes up, please let me know because
Absolutely. Yeah.
if this is like, listen, I'm not going to be able to do this, or not, just let me know.
Yeah.
Because
So far, I
being in the
don't.
dark on this kind of thing is just not. It's not cool. It's not cool.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know that so far I don't have the intention of like saying yes and then saying no.
Oh, I get
It,
it.
it
I totally get that,
yeah.
and I'm not doubting you. I'm just letting you know how important this is to me,
Mhm.
and that way you'll kind of have an understanding that because things can get in the way. Things can get in the way on my end. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
not a matter of like being flippant and changing your mind. It's just being
Yeah.
realistic and going, shit, man, things are happening right now. A lot of times when that happens, you don't want to disappoint the person that you're working with, and you think you might be able to squeeze. But no, it's way better to go, okay, listen, this is what's going on right now. This is my
Yeah.
time commitment. This is what I'm doing, or this is my interest level, you
Mhm.
know, or remind me again, why the fuck are we doing this? You know, so, but just communication will go a long way to not creating any discontent. Cool. Yeah, we have. It's the rest. It's the rest of the world that ain't working out. Not at all. Not. I mean, every day I'm reminded that people just blow you off or don't care or make these commitments and are like, oh.
Interested in being interested.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And you can
So
just you can just hear it in their tone,
yeah. I do
see it
not
on their face.
cast doubt. I just remind thee that we live in a world that of people that are interested in being interested. So constantly gotta navigate that world. So, all right, man.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll
I'll
talk to you soon then.
What's that?
I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, bro. Have a good
Yeah.
night and sweet dreams and fuck, man. Oh,
I still need to
learn
make dinner.
Everlong.
Yeah,
Learn
everlong. Blackbird.
Blackbird.
Yeah.
If you're into it, learn it.
All right.
I
I
think
think
you'll
I'll.
dig. I think you'll dig the musical lesson that those songs have to give.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go back and look at Blackbird again because I know how to play that riff in the song, but it's been a long time since I learned it, but I didn't like learn it. You
Right.
know.
No, learn it. Learn it. Just never play it.
Yeah.
Playing Blackbird is like playing fucking Stairway, man. It's just
Yeah.
not cool.
Yeah. Don't do it. Stop it.
But
No
learn
free
it.
bird.
I probably should learn Stairway, again. No, probably not. All right, bro.
All right,
Have a
man.
good night, bro.
I'll see you too.